Okay, thank you. This morning we were listening about Camunda, standard Camunda project and so on from Camunda guys. I came with something different, a real life story. Yeah, we did something on Camunda and I will speak about this. Before we start, the beginning of the project, there were some ambitions. Ambition of the client and of course our ambition like a vendor. We started with Sberbank. Sberbank ambition was not truly their own idea. Yeah, we were discussing it for several months, but they were willing to start with BPM technology. Our ambition was to deliver Camunda BPM because it was our first big project on Camunda BPM. It was 2 years ago, and we didn't have such expertise with Camunda, and we want to start with this. The first ambition was to test if Camunda is a good choice for the Sberbank. So the first task was some back office savings by process automation. You know that there are some paperwork, and we could automate this, and maybe there will be some FTE savings and some money. Of course, we want to show that Camunda is the best, like we as vendor are the best one, of course. So we want to choose some easy, quick wins, some easy process, and show on them that we are the greatest. Okay, the ambition at the beginning. The first task, enterprise architecture. The biggest problem. Yeah, they ask us what is Camunda BPM from the perspective of enterprise architecture. The biggest problem. They have enterprise layer, they have backends, frontends, core systems, and some kind of enterprise architecture principles are already in place. And we are disturbing this because Camunda and BPM software itself, it's not easy applicable in this standard model. This is what we invented after several hours of discussions. We decided to use as much from Camunda as it's possible. So we tried to use Camunda task list for back office employees. We have to create our own process application. Also, to have responding backend, we create new backend. And of course, there's Camunda BPM core itself. We use standalone application model of using Camunda. So it was implemented, installed on different application server. And ambition of the bank was that Camunda itself could be usable for many projects, for many processes, not just for back office, but it will be standard part of their architecture, and they will be using BPMs anywhere they want. But there's also REST APIs inside Camunda. We didn't want to create another one or some other proxy servers and so on. So we are disturbing standard model of architecture, because if you want to use Camunda, the easiest way is to use the REST APIs, right? But you will go through, not through ESB, but you will be communicating directly with Camunda. It's something which enterprise architecture don't like. Yeah, they created ESB layer to separate problems, because are there many enterprise architects here? No? Yeah, some. Yeah, of course. I consider myself also as enterprise architect. So a little secret: enterprise architects likes their boxes. Yeah, boxes, and especially if they are reusable, of course. So we try to mix it as much as possible to reuse Camunda as much we can, but to be satisfied with enterprise architecture. This is the mix Sometimes it's not ideal, sometimes it's not easy, but this is the result. If you have any questions during my presentation, feel free to ask. Anyway, I don't want to be boring. If there will be some interaction, it will be appreciated. Yeah. So this was the biggest problem on the beginning. Of course, this problem will come with another BPM tools as well. In Trask solution, we were used to work with IBM BPM solutions and several different technologies. For now, we are using just Camunda, but this problem will come with all this stuff. Okay, then it was project scope definition. After enterprise architecture, we aligned with them. We aligned that process architects will work on BPMN-2 to be satisfied. You know that all recommendations from my colleagues from Camunda, we tried to apply to use this best practices. To be sure that you don't forget, ambition was quick wins. Yeah, quick wins on back office. Our first BPMN process. Yeah. To be completely correct, it's not just one process. Yeah, in BPMN there are more processes, but this is the first delivery. Why? If you start some project and if you satisfy enterprise architecture and you are good like a vendor, maybe it will bring new big ambitions on bank side, on client side. It happens. Yeah. During the project, Sberbank decided, because of many reasons I cannot talk about, to replace their core system for lending. And why not to use Camunda? They asked us if we are capable to do that. Yeah, we are capable of anything, yeah, if we get enough money and also enough time. So this was the project. Project was named Single Lending Tool to replace all existing applications for their lending processes, especially customer loans, overdrafts, and consolidation loans. All this has to be replaced in 1 year, yeah, because of some negotiation with vendor of their old applications, and it was deadline, not crossable deadline, yeah, because old system has been running out of life. There are also some tasks before us on the beginning. Create new front-end application for branches. For branches, we decided, it will be on next slides, that we have to create something completely new because branch employees using application different way that standard back office users, they need some views of existing clients, searching databases, and so on. So it will be different application. There's also underwriting, people who are approving loans if client will get or will not get the money. And of course, there are back office. They will send payments if you are talking about consolidation. It's, do you familiar with consolidation loan? Monies are transferred between banks. You have several loans in different banks, and you want to put it in one lending, in one loan. So a bank has to negotiate between banks and repay the old loans in different banks. So it's done manually. It's not ready for automation, because of Czech Republic is not so easy, meaning of legislation and connection between banks. So the first one was front end. Of course, we have to integrate with existing CRM applications, not just CRMs. There are also core systems. You have to load history of payments of the client, of their loans, also their connection to central register of loans in Czech Republic, and many, many other systems. There were about 30 integrations. And of course, you need to design a new loan approval process. This is task which has been built in Camunda, of course. As now we know that we have 1 year, and we also knew the budget. We have to decide where we want to build some components from the scratch, where we need to reuse some components already in infrastructure, and where to change things. I will talk about Camunda, so I will not be talking about all integrations and so on. So if you are interested, maybe you can ask me after my presentation, but still under NDAs, so maybe there will be some questions I will not answer. Okay, so lending process, the only option, use Camunda. Yeah, we come into the bank with Camunda, that is the only option where process will be built. Underwriting, back office, front-end applications. We could use Camunda task list. Our ambition is reuse as much as we can, but it's a little bit risky. A task list has some functions, business has some requirements. We don't want to rewrite many functions inside task list, so it was a little bit risky. We know it from the beginning. Alternative is to create some custom application, custom development. Matter of time and matter of budget, nothing else. Branch front-end application, there were some third-party tools or applications on the market. We discussed it with enterprise architecture, also with our internal team about our capacities, if we are capable to do this. And also custom development, another alternative. Risk decision engine. The big part of loan approval process is risk engine. Our ambition was to use Camunda, maybe DMN. Maybe we can use third-party tool or custom development. Custom development has been from the beginning not the option. We know that we don't have enough capacities. What we choose? Yeah, lending process in Camunda, of course. Underwriting, we try to use task list. The biggest risk in the project for us. Also, I will talk about the end of the project, so I will put you some notes about this decision later. Branch front-end application, custom development, yeah, we choose that way. Risk decision engine, the biggest discussions among us and client and enterprise architects and many people. Also architects in Vienna, because Sberbank in Czech Republic is driven from Vienna, from Sberbank Europe central office. So we used third-party application because of Sberbank, our single lending tool application has been created with ambition to roll out to other companies inside Sberbank Group, to other entities in different countries. Yeah? This ambition is still on the table, and we are now in phase of planning where to start. Maybe it will be in Croatia. We will see. So, risk engine. Discussions among enterprise architects were going smoothly. Maybe we were not as far from a decision to use Camunda, but also there are people from the risk department, and you know that guys which are defining rules if this client or this type of client could lend money from you. So these people need as simple interface for management of the rules as possible, and we were not satisfied enough in comparison with other companies which came. During the project, we also know that our capabilities are not so big to deliver everything in 1 year. So this fight we didn't win. Okay, so they use different tool for decision engine. About my recommendation about Camunda after the successful end of the project. We manage it. After 12 months, they have their new application for lending. So we succeed. We used Camunda engine. We used REST APIs for all the functions to keep architecture clear. We used task list, and also we used cockpit. Maybe personal note, there were some handicaps, like IBM Web Application Server. You know Web Application Server, eh? I listen some lot, okay, yeah. Running Camunda on a Web Application Server, it's like running anything else on application server from IBM. There are always problems. Client choose to use enterprise version of Camunda, so we forward all the issues to Camunda, of course, because we are not vendor of Camunda, the developer of Camunda, yeah, and also we are not from IBM, so managed discussion among them. We didn't join this. We manage everything. To use Camunda, it was a great decision. It was running smoothly. Several problems were on, I don't know if it was on a Camunda side or IBM side. Anyway, do not try to switch on trace logging on IBM server if you are running Camunda. It will not work. It will not start. Yeah, this bug is always there. It should be fixed in next version of Camunda, but probably this is the only opportunity to let you know that it's not good to switch this trace logging. You will not get any warnings before, so don't do that. It takes us 3 days offline in production. Really funny. Okay, about REST APIs also, it's great. All functions of Camunda are callable, are on REST APIs. So you know that applications like Cockpit or Task List are using just REST APIs. So all functions are callable through REST APIs. Even if you are using community version, all functionalities are public on these REST APIs. But after installation of Camunda, you get 2 REST APIs on the server. One is secured, one is not. So think twice about security. Yeah, if you publish your REST APIs on front end, it's really not a good idea. So create some backend system between your front-end application and Camunda. It's really good choice how to deal with enterprise architecture and some security issues. We create something which we named proxy REST API proxy server, some kind of application which we are using to separate these layers of front-end and Camunda backend system. It's just about security. And of course, client wants to use single sign-on web application server from IBM. Yeah, this is task for 1 week to configure it. And also in this environment, you have to deal with security issues. So do not use REST APIs from Camunda directly from web applications. Maybe you can use it if we are talking about internal application, but definitely do not publish REST APIs to public web application. It's suicide. Task list. About our decision to use task list. Yeah, it was risky. Definitely it was good decision. Not just great, it was good. There were extremely large number of compromises between business requirements and functionality which we have in a task list. But not as much development as if we choose to go a custom development way. So we did it. We have some troubles, of course. We get to the limits of this application, especially task list. If you create process, you can include your own forms into task list. Task list has been shown here just very quickly, but you can create your own forms in HTML. If we want to use it for back offices, we need large number of information visible on the task. And also we are architects and we obey that data which are not necessary to be inside the process should not be there, just a reference for this data. Yeah? But users have to see the data. There has to be some compromise. If you want to create some task in task list, which is really usable for end users, you have to create several APIs to get the data on the screen, but obey to put this data inside the process, just because of you want to see the data in task list. If we are talking about loan requests, we are talking about 300 or 400 fields. Not all of them are visible for back office, not all of them are visible for underwriting people, yeah? But we didn't want to put all data inside the process because process do not need them. If there's no gateway which is using for decisions, do not put data inside the process if it's not necessary for process itself. Okay, so we created so big HTML files because we add some REST APIs to front end that we were not capable to run it inside task list because there are some limitations about the size of the file you can use, which we didn't know before. So we created many JS files which are stored on the server where a task list is running, yeah? Because we were not capable to do anything by including into BPMN. So we go to the limit that way. Of course, maybe Camunda guys can listen. It's in Angular version 1. Angular JS. I have great guys, many developers in Trask. They don't want to work with version 1. Yeah? We want version 8. So it's about people. Camunda itself is a sexy tool for Java developers. And so, of course, for front-end developers, but maybe it should move quicker to some new version of Angular. There's some reasons why they are on this version. I don't want to go so deep. Maybe it should be something more R&D in that way. Yeah. And during the project, because the project took us 12 months, please be aware that every 6 months there's a new version of Camunda. So during the project, you face that before you deploy it into production, you will migrate to new version. Yeah, this is something we learned during the project. We didn't thought that we will be facing this problem. We were starting on Camunda 7.9, and now we will be migrating into 7.12, which will be in a month publicly downloadable. So problem is that we decided that we will use task list, and task list changed during last two versions in Camunda so much that we will do manual upgrade. We have to re-implement some functions. We didn't expect that. Next time we will. About cockpit. We didn't have ambition to create some dashboard application for different departments. Our ambition was to use cockpit. Cockpit for team leader on back office, team leader on a risk underwriting department. It was not easy task. There are so many functions inside the cockpit that it took much time to configure access rights in Camunda. Camunda has excellent access right management, but you need much time to configure it and test it. Sometimes it's really not so easy. And also there are many functionalities inside cockpit application, and our ambition that business people, no IT guys, will use this application was a little bit problematic. We expect that after one day training, they will be capable to use it. They were not, because we trained them, and after 2 weeks we were in production, and they are not remembering anything, because they are not using it. You train them how to solve incidents, but first 3 months there were no incident, and when it came, they don't know how to do it. There's no way how to test them. Maybe next time we will create some special processes which will create incidents to have it under control. Our ambition was that they will be in babysitting in production, they will be working with us. Also people using cockpit will train on real situations. Wrong idea. My idea, wrong idea. Next time we will do it different way. Okay, that's everything from my presentation. If you have any questions, you can put it here now, or I will be here. Thank you very much.
Okay.